everyone. Hope you're all doing okay. So my next special guest is not someone within the musical theatre industry, but most definitely within the creative arts. He is an incredible artist. His paintings are phenomenal, and he's also now got a book out. It was a real pleasure to chat to Henry Fraser. Take a listen to our interview.
Okay, so my name is Henry Fraser. I'm a mouth artist, author, and public speaker. 11 years ago this summer, actually, I had an accident that left me paralysed from the top of my shoulders down. So unable to move anything, arms, legs, any part of the body really. And through that, I've kind of discovered many new things about myself and about life and things, I guess. And one of those things is, for me, is art and writing, but mainly the arts. I always loved art as a child, and as I grew up, fell out of love with it, but my accidents kind of led me back to it. But like I said at the start, I'm a mouth artist, so I create by having a brush attached to a mouth stick that obviously I just grip between my teeth, and I paint away at my easel. And just love it. It's a different way of doing art, it's a different way of creating. But we're all able to create in different ways, and this is just my way of doing it.
Amazing. That was a fantastic introduction. I couldn't have done it better myself.
Thank
you. You said that you were you were into art when you were growing up. So when did you first recognise your talents?
I think when I was young, I always mostly enjoyed making things. I always loved playing with Duplo and Lego and kind of building houses or building just kind of weird things. I really liked putting stuff together, and for me that was kind of my creative outlet. And then I started kind of making things, I don't know, with bits of card and bits of paper, and I don't know, building like boats or cars and all different types of things. And then just started drawing and painting. Found when I was young, I was quite good at drawing. I think I was best at. I was just very good at like replicating things that I saw, kind of still life and things as I was learning art through school. So those are things that kind of I really enjoy doing.
Yeah. And you said you kind of fell out of love with it. Was that just as you got older, you found other things to do? And
yeah, I guess coming through my mid-teens forward, rugby was going quite well for me at the time. And art, when you're studying art GCSE and AS level, it requires a lot of time. It requires you to put in hours after school, during lunch, and all those things that I just wasn't prepared to do, and I didn't want to, because I wanted to go to the gym or I wanted to play rugby. And I couldn't do both at the same time. So my focus was rugby, so art was just that kind of annoying thing that was just kind of following me around, that kind of shadow just always pulling me back a bit.
Yeah.
So I really just wasn't enjoying it because I couldn't give it the time it needed.
Yeah.
So that's why I fell out of love with it. And if I didn't have the accident, I wouldn't have kind of been taken back round to it again. I would have 100% quit it after school and probably never touched it again.
Yeah, amazing. Your stuff is absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. You must be so proud of what you're able to achieve.
I don't know. I'm kind of thank you, but I don't know, because normally when I paint something, I don't really kind of enjoy the whole painting once it's done. I can always find little things that might annoy me about it, or because I've spent so long kind of sitting so close to it.
Yeah.
I always see it in a different way, and it's only when I look at it later on, maybe 2 weeks later, a few weeks later, that I look at it and go, oh, I'd like that, or I'd like just like that bit of it, and I want to kind of work out how I did that and use that in a later painting, all these things. And that's one of the things I quite enjoy about it, is that I'm kind of never really settled with a painting. I'm kind of always having to try something new or push myself in a slightly different way. Because normally I paint them, take a photo of them, post it on social media, put the original in an envelope and then stack it away in the study and not see it again.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just there. Nice one to kind of move on to the next one, really.
I guess like the arts in general, isn't it? It's quite a critical thing. And you know, once you've done something, I'm very similar. Once I've sung a song, you know, people go, oh, that was really good. And you go, it was okay. Because you like find things to nitpick at, don't you? And it's never quite there.
Yeah, always, 100%. Because in your head, you have this image or this thing, or how you want something to sound. And in your head, you have this kind of, I guess, in what we perceive in our heads, is kind of that perfect level.
Yeah.
But it's kind of perfection's, they're impossible to achieve, really.
Absolutely.
I guess that's the thing about the arts, is that you're always striving to kind of do more, to be better, and which is what drives creativity in art. It's kind of people wanting to do more, always striving.
Definitely. And do you have a favourite thing or piece that you've created?
Yeah, it always changes for me. Sometimes when I look back through the stuff I've done, then I'm like, oh, I forgot about that one. I enjoyed that, or I enjoyed painting that. Maybe not the end product so great. For me, for some reason, I tend to paint big cats quite well. Those are the ones I enjoy doing. So I did this black and white lion 4 years ago, now maybe 3.5, 4 years, or something. And I love that one. I really love that one. It's one of my favourites, and one of the most recent ones I did of the Jaguar as well.
That is stunning.
Thank you. I don't know how it came out well or why it worked. It just seemed to work. So I was happy with that one. So I'm just gonna probably take a break from the cats for a little bit. I've done quite a few. Try something new and see what happens.
And do you like doing living things? Have you done like still portraits and stuff, or do you like doing animals and people?
Yeah, animals, just kind of anything to do with nature really at the moment seems to be, I think. Never really, at the start, I never really kind of went into it going, I want to do a certain subject, a certain style. I just kind of let what happened. And animals just seem to be part of that. At the start, when I was taking commissions, it'd be I got lots of people's pets and things, a lot of dogs, a few cats. And it was, for some reason, it just, what I was doing seemed to work really well with animals. So I just ran with it. But I've done a few still lifes here, mostly with plants and flowers. And they're quite fun, kind of coming up with my own arrangements and kind of working when the light's changing in here and all those different things, those new challenges. So I definitely want to do a few more still lives and see what happens with those. And I think it'd be a nice change from having done so many kind of living things to, I don't know, even go back to the basics.
And do you have a favourite medium that you use, like a favourite paint or?
Yeah, so at the start I was painted in watercolour, but I found this new paint. Well, it was new for me. I'd never heard of it before. It's called gouache, and it's halfway between watercolour and acrylic paint. And I really like it. I just really like the texture of it. I really like how it works in the way I paint and on the boards that I paint on as well. It sits really nicely on the originals. Kind of stands out a bit more because I just paint on mount board card. It's like nothing special. It's just card normally you just stick stuff to and things. So I just kind of higgledy kind of put my own stuff together. And again, that's a good thing about art and things. You kind of got a license to do what you want and create your own way of doing things.
Absolutely. You said just now that you had quite a lot of commissions to start with pets and stuff. Have you had like a favourite thing that you've gifted someone?
That's a good one. I don't know. There was a challenge. This couple wanted me to paint 3 of their dogs in one painting. I enjoyed that as a challenge because I'd never put so many things in one image before.
Yeah.
So I was really kind of having to back myself on the size and the kind of everything to really fit them in. And luckily, it worked out, thank God, because I'm not gonna lie, by the end of it, I was pretty bored. But I guess the most I did because I was very lucky that Fern Cotton wrote the foreword for my book, my most recent book. So as a gift to her, I painted a picture of her favourite flowers, peonies. And luckily, just coincidentally, Mum in our living room has some fake ones that Boots have in a vase. So that was the second ever still life that I did. So that was quite nice having to kind of create my own one of those. And the peonies, these bright pink, obviously, colours, and there's so much texture and lights in them. And I really enjoyed painting that. And it took a while for it to come together. And it's actually, I had to start again at one point. And I kind of struggle to make myself start again when I screw up sometimes. I do kind of like try and budge my way through it.
Yeah.
But then I get into a bigger and bigger hole. So eventually I'm just like, I'm done. I have to like throw this away and start a new one. So that was fun. I enjoyed that, and I really liked how it came out in the end. I was really very happy with it.
Amazing. Do you have inspirations, people that paint or their work that's just really inspiring to you, or that you take kind of ideas from, or that you just like to look at?
I don't. I've never really kind of looked at certain artists. I just like watching art shows. Sky do kind of portrait artists of the year and landscape artists of the year, and they're great because it just inspires you to. Because you see 9 people painting at the same time, and it's 9 completely different techniques from each other, and you're just like, oh, that's great way, and you see how they start, and you think, oh, I could try that, I could try this, and I really like seeing the process of people doing things. I'm not so much someone who enjoys the end product of it. I always love the process and how kind of you get inspired by everyone doing things differently. It's kind of like life. We all do everything in life differently, and it's no different when it comes to art. It's quite a nice kind of synergy between those two things. So yeah, I just get inspired by art shows or just things that I see on TV, just other creative people. Just pretty much anything creative I see just kind of lifts me up to go think, oh, I should go do my own thing.
Yeah, definitely. I love what you said there about you enjoy the process more than you enjoy the end product. And it is very similar to life. Like the journey is what makes it, right? And your journey is never where you think it's going to take you. Like I'm sure everybody would say that. And sometimes, like you say, with your art, sometimes you think, oh, it's just not going. It's not going where I want it, or the end product is not what you thought it would be. But to enjoy the journey of it and see where it takes you.
Yeah, because I mean, along that kind of path, like I said, things change, things go differently. I mean, there are times where I've gone through a painting and 90% of the time I've not enjoyed it. I've hated it, but I was like, okay, I just want to get through it. I want to do this. And by the end of it, I've really liked painting.
Yeah.
And I just thought, okay, well, I'm glad that I kind of stuck with it and decided to persevere and kind of get through it because I just wanted to kind of see it through. Whether it worked or not, that wouldn't have made a difference. The fact it did work for me was just like great, fine. It was a nice surprise at the end of it. So those things they are enjoyable, even though they can be a kind of tough and a struggle, but it's just part of it, part and parcel.
Absolutely. And you talked earlier about your book. So the new book out is The Power in You. Tell us about that.
So my first book was about kind of was a memoir style book of just what's happened and the accidents and things that happened after that. But I never really went into huge depth in that book about kind of exactly mentally what I was going through and how I was dealing with it and kind of all the things I still have to deal with the kind of in day-to-day life now and how I cope. And that's what we wanted to get from the second book. So we kind of structured it around questions that I'm regularly asked, whether I'm out and about or after I've given talks, and we do a Q&A at the end. So there's things kind of like, what do you do all day? How do you deal with setbacks, loss of independence, and ask about acceptance, and all those things, and things that I really wanted to say, but I guess I just didn't really have the chance in the first book. So this one it was a lot of fun doing it. It was a long process, this one, because I had to think very differently. I had to kind of delve back into my head to think how I was thinking nearly 11 years ago now. So I had to just think more philosophically about life and things, and work out the best way to translate that into words and tell other people about that.
Yeah, amazing. And how well has it been received?
Yeah, it's gone. Yeah, it's better than I thought. I was far more nervous about this one than I was the first. Just because it was so different from the other one. And I mean, getting out there has been tough because of obviously everything else that's going on in the world at the moment. The day it was released, I was meant to be doing certain interviews, but they all got cut the day before because the government were releasing new information and all these things. So things were delayed. So at the start, I was more nervous, and the days kept building. But luckily, it's been all right so far. And yeah, just trying to plug away at it and keep trying to share it with people.
Definitely. And how different creatively is writing a book to doing a painting?
Oh, yeah, for me, very. It's at least for me, kind of painting is always something that I enjoyed and was quite good at. Writing was never something I was good at. It wasn't. English wasn't my strongest subject in the world, but writing for me kind of came into my life quite soon after my accident. I guess 9-10 months after the accident, I decided to create a website and share with people what happened to me. And I wasn't writing at that time; I was dictating it through a headset and voice recognition software on a computer. So I wasn't really writing, and then as I was doing the later chapters, then I was using my iPad to type, and I use an iPad the same way I paint with the mouse stick with a stylus, just taking the end of it and just tap the screen with the iPad. So kind of the writing things developed over quite a few years. Luckily, the book didn't come earlier because the writing would have been not so great. But it was fun, and it was good having to kind of push myself again differently in that way. Kind of take myself out of my comfort zone for a bit and try something that I'd never done before, I'd never even considered before. So again, it was just when these kind of new things pop up, I just try and kind of see it as a new challenge and a new kind of thing that I have to deal with, and try and find my way around it and find my way through it.
Absolutely amazing. Like you said, if it wasn't really your strongest point in school, I guess in school, because you're dictated to, you have to do this and it has to be like this and this, you don't really get to choose your subject. You don't really get to choose what interests you. You have to write about this book or this play, or and it could be a right snooze fest, really, couldn't it? And you're thinking, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Whereas, yes, you've got something that you're passionate about, or that has impacted you, or that you want to share with people. I guess that makes it easier, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, like you said, when you're at school, you're just kind of lucky if you like the book that you have to then study for 2 years at GCSE. Or if it's the shorter the book, the better, I'd say.
Yeah.
That's why both my books are quite short. That's what I preach.
I love it. And you're obviously very creative. Describe your ambitions for the future. Where would you like to go with your work?
To be honest, I don't really know. I'm just, because the past few years has just been so much stuff going on and so many different things happening in my life, big changes, that I'm just kind of just rolling with it. I'm just seeing what happens. I'm not really, when it comes to the arts especially, I don't really make plans for it. I plan my own exhibitions every couple of years. So I might be doing one next year. Obviously, it depends what happens with it. everything that's going on at the moment, so it might be the year after. So I just do it as that, and I just like to. And I do those because it means I get to come see people's kind of live reactions to stuff when they're going to see it, and that's always nice. That's always kind of that extra boost to like keep going with it type thing.
Definitely.
But I've no real kind of structured plans for it. It's just at the moment whatever happens, and just gonna roll with it.
Definitely, that's good. Sometimes you put too many plans in place, if it doesn't quite work out, or like you say, like right now, hey, who could have known that this was gonna happen? So I mean, yeah, sometimes just rolling with what happens, seeing what, that spontaneity of, well, wake up and see how we feel and what comes through the door kind of thing.
Yeah, and like you said, that when you kind of make those big goals, if it doesn't happen, it can be quite disappointing. It can be a bit of a setback, and I think for people, I mean, especially in a situation like now, we're in a time where we don't know where the end is. We have no idea when this is going to end, or kind of when the vaccines are going to happen, or things like that. And it's quite overwhelming if we only focus on wanting that end goal, wanting this whole thing to end. And if that date keeps getting pushed back and back and back, it can be quite kind of demoralising.
Yeah.
So it's kind of better for lots of people, and for me, I'm quite in that headspace where I don't always look that far ahead. I don't make goals that are too far in the future. It's more about kind of reducing it to simple ones in the here and now, in a couple of days, in a few days, in a week or 2 weeks. And I won't really go think much further than that. And it's worked really well in this time, because obviously we can't predict what's happened. It's just good to plan a few days ahead. That I might paint a bit, might then exercise on a different day this week. I might, just chill on another day, have a day for reading, and just keep it as little things each day really at the moment.
Definitely, absolutely. And is there someone that you'd like to collaborate with in the future?
That is a good one. I don't know. I guess maybe a musician, to be able to do some artwork for a musician, some kind of, I don't know, album cover or single cover or something. Some work for them. I mean, there's a few musicians that I love at the moment, so if any one of them come knocking at my door, I'd happily do it. In fact, I'd pay them to let me do it.
That would be wicked. Yeah, because like you said before, trying to get into different things and stuff, that would be awesome.
Yeah, and I think album covers, they've always, when you look back kind of the old vinyl stuff and through, there's always such like classic covers. There's always such, like, the people really love to put great imagery on covers.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, there are some terrible ones, but there are great ones. I'm not saying mine be great. It could easily fall in the terrible pile. Very easily.
And what would you say to young people out there wanting to pursue a career in the arts, but not sure, not sure whether they're good enough, or not sure what path they should take? What would you say to them?
I'd say to them, I mean, firstly, you've got to go in you've got to have patience with yourself and others. You've got to be able to realise, I mean, for me, my whole art process has been a process. And for me, I think it's a still ongoing process. I'm 5.5 years in since I first started drawing with my mouth. And it's about just over pretty much 5 years now since I did my first actual painting. But everything I'm doing is still kind of adapting. It's still changing. It's kind of, don't expect yourself to find your style, your touch straight away, because that doesn't happen really. People are always changing what they're doing in the art. I mean, you still see it now, artists trying different things, and musicians trying different things, and actors and actresses. Everyone's always adapting, and I guess you've got to allow yourself to adapt to things as well. And don't see, because there will be setbacks as well. I mean, everyone in this industry, I'm sure, has experienced setbacks. But it's to kind of use those times to maybe realise that if it's kind of the same setbacks over and over, maybe realise that you need to adapt and change to something, adjust what you're doing slightly. So yeah, I don't know. I guess those things are kind of the main points for me. And yeah, patience is key, I think.
Definitely. Not to get too cross with yourself or what's happening.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because it is very easy to get frustrated in any art form. It's very easy. One little thing goes wrong and kind of upsets everything, then you're just like But
Oh. And my final question, Henry, is what have you been up to during lockdown? What has kept you sane?
The sun has helped big time.
Definitely.
Yeah, those kind of moments when I've been able to get out and enjoy the sun. I can only kind of enjoy a little spurts at a time, but I'm just trying to make the most of those as I possibly can. And then times when I'm not, I've been trying to. I've got quite a few paintings done. For me, I've been quite lucky in the fact that kind of end of last year, start of this year, I didn't have much time to paint at all. With the book coming out, finishing that, all the last little kind of bits that needed tying up and everything. But then when this came around, suddenly, of course, everything stopped in the outside world, and I was able to kind of breathe a bit and go, all right, okay, once I'd sorted out everything I needed to sort out and make sure that I was safe, I was able to then think, oh, I can paint. I've kind of got the gift of time now. I can be at my easel and paint. So I think I've done 5 paintings so far in lockdown, and the ones that I really enjoy doing, they're ones that I've been able to just relax whilst doing them. I've not had to worry about kind of planning my weeks about thinking, oh, I need to paint this day, but then I need to rest tomorrow because I've got to talk the day after, or I need to go out and do this and this. It's been nice so I can just relax, and I really enjoyed that. And for me, it's weirdly come at a really good time. So in that way, I think I've been quite lucky, really.
Yeah, like you say, you've been gifted time. I've spoken to so many people, and although like within the creative industry, it sucks because you can't get on the stage, and like you say, you can't do your talks, you can't do your interviews and things, and share a lot of your work in that sense. That has been difficult for lots of people within the creative industry, but you have been gifted time. And I mean, for myself personally, working 6-7 days a week with all these small children running around singing and goodness knows what else, I love it. I love my job, don't get me wrong, but it's tiring, and you don't have that time to just switch off and, like you say, just do something as simple as reading a book. When was the last time you opened a book? Because you don't have the time, or just sat and watch TV, like you say, get out in the sun, little things like that although we don't want this time again because it's just been nightmare in some senses, it has gifted you that time.
Yeah, 100%. I think hopefully that's one thing that coming out of this, that people realise that it's good to kind of give yourself a break. It's good to kind of step back and just breathe a bit and kind of realise we don't need to always do everything at 100% of the time. It is tiring physically and mentally. It's exhausting. We all need rest. We all need kind of times to ourselves. And if we're able to get that, even if it's a small fraction, I think people will hopefully kind of appreciate that more and realise that kind of the importance of self-care in that way.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me. I've loved it.
Oh, thank you. It's been fun. Good to chat all things art. I enjoy it.
Yeah, definitely. And also good to see new faces, not that we're hating on our family at all. I love my parents, but yeah, it does drive you up the wall a little bit, right?
Yeah, I'm just seeing if they can hear me. No, yes, they do.
I know, mine are downstairs, so it's all good. We don't need to worry about it. But it does, I mean, I'm very lucky that, that my family are very supportive and that, but when you're a mature adult, shall we say, and you live at home and you're all cooped up at times, you think, oh my gosh, it does drive you crazy, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, for me, there are some mornings where I kind of get ready for that. I just sit in my room and do my morning work in my room. I'm just like, okay, it's my space for now, and then I'll come downstairs and join them in the afternoon.
Yeah.
I've worked out my ways around it.
Definitely. Yo, you've got to. Yeah, yeah. Oh, you're like, oh yeah, no, I was really busy working, so I just didn't want the distraction back. That watching
Yeah.
ten can't go.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Brilliant. Well, you take care of yourself, and when this goes out on the channel, I'll send you the link to it so you can have a watch.
Brilliant. Thank you. Great
No.
chat with you.
Yeah, it was great. We'll keep in touch.
Yeah, 100%.
Amazing. Well, take care of yourself. Stay safe, and I'll speak to you soon.
See you soon. Cheers, Jen.
Bye. Bye. Wow. It was just incredible to speak with Henry and hear about all of the amazing things that he's been doing, and what he's going to achieve it's mind-blowing. I'm going to attach Henry's Twitter and Instagram underneath here so you can see all of his incredible work. It's amazing. Lots more fantastic guests still to come. This is just crazy. It's August. It's August and I'm still going. Thank you all so much for watching. And if you're liking the videos, make sure that you do actually like them. And subscribe and share with your family and friends. Help us share a smile. Take care, everyone. See you again soon. Bye.